What's up, guys? So today I want to talk a little bit about OP11, which isn't out yet. And actually, this doesn't even come out until after EBO2, which I think comes out this month, maybe late April. And then OP11, I believe, is in June. But I had someone ask me about OP11, 12, and 13 coming later this year. And I think there is going to be a lot of heat. I believe we also have PRBO2 coming this year. Like, there are a lot of sets coming. EBO2, just to touch on this, which does come before OP11, I'm not as excited for this set. You still have some decent cards in here. You're going to have a Luffy. I don't know what gear this is, gear 2, gear 3, something like that. You have a Boa Hancock in here. You have some other cards, Uta, Enel, another Luffy. So there you go. Like, there's some decent cards. And again, these sets, Bandai historically hasn't reprinted as much, and that's why maybe it's worth grabbing a box just in case they don't get a reprint, and you get something like an EB01 situation where not a ton of crazy cards outside the 2020 chopper, but the box price takes off into the 330s or whatever it is right now. So you could get a little bit of this. OP11, I'm much happier with OP11. I think this is going to be a better set. Definitely a lot deeper. You have the Luffy cards up top. You have, is this supposed to be silver foil or just foil in general, then the gold foil? These are reprints from OP05, which we can go look at over here. These cards are going for what, $2,500 right now. The regular OP05 Luffy. You have the signature Luffy, which isn't in that set, but you have that one. So I imagine this card is going to be expensive. And on TCG Republic, it looks like it's already pre-selling a lot in Japanese for a fairly high price. You also have another Luffy that's going to be in here. Actually, a couple Luffys. Yeah, Gear 2 Luffy, okay. A Sanji, a couple other cards, Shirahoshi. You'll have a little bit Nami. So you have a little bit of waifu in here as well. And if you guys are in Canada and you want to pre-order this box, the only place I've really found it is Level Up Games, board game store and cafe. I've never purchased from them before, but it took a while to try and find a place that did have pre-orders up. 170 Canadian, and I think you can buy a maximum of 4 boxes. I don't know if that's how many are left in stock or if that's just a limit they've implemented, but if you guys want a place to buy, that's really one of the only places I've found it. And you guys know me, when I look at a set, I want to see a deep set with decent chase cards, and OP11 is checking the boxes on that with all of the Luffys. Again, some of my other favorite sets so far, OP09, Emperors in the New World, the Goldie Roger up top, $3,300. The Luffy in there, Shanks, Buggy, Nami, like very, very good set. And it's super interesting too, if you guys look at this, and I didn't notice this until today, this box has moved from around 130 at the end of January up to around 175, and it's selling consistently in this range all day, every day, mid 170s, which is a great sign. I think it's only a matter of time before this box starts pushing to the 180s, 190s. When you look at sales volume, it really hasn't changed. I mean, maybe it's slightly downtrend, right? But really, since mid-late January, we haven't seen a large drop-off in demand for this box. A lot of boxes are still selling on TCG Player. So that's why I think it really is going to take, it's just going to be a matter of time before this box starts pushing to that 180, 190, $200 range. I think OP11, again, it's a set that's not even out yet. It's going to be reprinted more than likely for years to come. But it could kind of do the same thing. Once that first initial supply wave runs out, you're going to see that box price creep up quite rapidly, honestly, into the 180s, 190s, 200s. Who knows? But I imagine it's going to be fairly expensive just looking at some of these chase cards, and especially if this gold foil Luffy is selling for like $2,000-$3,000 USD, it's going to be quite a set that people want to open. And outside that, I did want to touch on one more thing because we do have the Luffy card in that set from OP05. OP05, kind of same thing, right? Like, this box is slowly moving up, but we didn't really see a drop off in sales volume until maybe crack the 190 range. So I don't know if people just overvalue or think at around $200, $210 it's a little overvalued or what. Maybe they're just moving on to new sets. But that's something to pay attention to when we look at OP09 when it eventually gets to that 190 range. Keep an eye on that. See if it can eventually push through into the 200-ish and not have a drop off in sales volume. Outside this, the one last thing I wanted to point out, because I always pay attention to this sort of thing on Hobbiesville. You can pay attention on other sites too, like 401 Games, this, but Hobbiesville, it's very easy to track how much inventory they have up on their site, just because you can kind of, if you come in here, normally it'll just show one. If you put a couple of zeros, it'll max out the number that they have in. So they only have 3 boxes of Awakening of the New Era in stock right now for $300 Canadian. That's the cheapest I've seen anywhere in Canada at this point. So you're paying after the 5% tax, you're paying about $315. And then they're down to 55 boxes of OP09 at 220 Canadian. I believe they've actually bumped that up a little bit, or maybe that's where it was. But either way, this was over 100 boxes, I think, like a week ago. So they are selling a lot of OP09. Keep an eye on that. Now, if you guys do want to pre-order also, they have OP12 and OP13 pre-orders up. A lot of stores have pre-orders up, so shop around, try and find your best price. But keep an eye on OP13 pre-orders. This doesn't come out until the end of 2025. I think it's November. But this number's dropping. Like a couple days ago, it was over 170 boxes. I think people are anticipating OP13 to be a very good set. It's going to be that third anniversary set. OP09 was the second anniversary, and we can already see how good of a set this was. I think people have kind of already pieced together that Luffy and a couple of their characters are going to be in that, so it's going to be quite popular. I think I'm not telling you to pre-order 6 months, 7 months in advance, but just keep an eye on it. It's something to pay attention to, and also if you are learning this hobby like I am, pay attention to prices just on the daily to educate yourselves, right? Don't be obsessed with it, but it takes a couple minutes. Just go on TCG Player, look at the boxes, look at the sales volume, and that'll help you just get a better idea of where the market is going. So thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Again, OP11, it's going to be a great set. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. Hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one.